This is Alex from PHP Academy, and this is a PHP tutorial for the new Boston. In this video I'm going to be talking to you about assignment operators. Now, assignment operators in PHP, we've already seen a few. For example, if I was to say number 1 equals 10, we've already used an assignment operator here. This is the is assigning a value of 10 to this variable. So it's not is equal to, we're not comparing anything, that's a comparison operator. We are assigning this value. Now, what happens if I wanted to, let's create another variable, say number 2 equals 5. Now, if I wanted to, for example, create a result, and I wanted this to equal 10, oh no, I wanted this to equal number 1 plus 2, and here I'm trying to achieve the result 12. In fact, let's get rid of this number 2 now so we don't confuse ourselves. So we've got number 1, we're assigning the value of 10 to this. Now we're assigning the value a value to result, and this value is 10 plus 2. Now, how can we use this in shorthand? We've already seen this basic assignment operator here. However, there is a lot quicker way to do this, and this would be to say number 1 plus equals 2. Now, what this is saying in plain English is number 1, so we're saying 10 equals 10 plus 2. So we're taking the value and just adding on 2 rather than creating it as a long long line of code, sorry. So let's refresh this and we see that we've got, oh no, we need to echo it out. So echo number 1. So we're assigning up here, we're performing an operation on here, but we are reassigning a value, and then we're echoing out the value here. So let's refresh. And you see we've got the value 12. So we've used plus equals as opposed to, we could say number 1 equals number 1 plus 2. But removing the whole of this, we can just say plus equals. So that's a lot easier way to demonstrate that. Now, for example, we could use the same thing with minus equals. So let's refresh that, and we're left with the value 8. So we're doing exactly the same thing. We're saying number 1 equals number 1 minus 2, but instead we're doing minus equals. So it's an easy shorthand version to do things. We can do the same as well as multiply, so here we'll receive the result 20, and that works. And the same with divide as well, you can use exactly the same thing. So we're going to say 10 divided by 2, and that's going to be equal to 5. You can also do the modulus, so in this case we're going to be left with 0 because there's no remainder. However, if we were to change this to 3, we get the remainder 1. So you can see how already we're shorthanding the code. It's a lot easier to program, it's a lot quicker to program, and as far as looking at it as a whole, it's as long as you learn the way it looks and convert it into plain English in your mind well enough, you'll understand it straight away. So you can just say, yeah, that's number 1 equals number 1 plus 2. Now, we can also use concatenation with the equals. We've already looked at concatenation in some of the past videos, but what we can do is we can work with string data. So I'm going to say text equals hello. Now, what if I wanted to concatenate some text onto this to make it say hello world? Obviously this is a useless example, but now you'll get the feel of how we can concatenate on easily. All I need to do is I need to say text dot, remember we use dot for concatenation, dot equals, I'm going to put a space in there and say world. So let's just comment this line out. As it stands, we refresh the page. Ooh. Remember to echo out the text down here. We refresh the page and we get the text hello. Now if we bring this back into play just by taking out that comment there, we're saying text equals text, and then we're concatenating this on. So it's the same as saying it's the same as basically having this up here like that. obviously, like I said, a useless example, but it shows you how it can be done. And later on, when you're obviously programming complex programs, this is useful. So if we refresh, we get that hello world. So these are basic examples of assignment operators and how we assign different values to other variables or plain text itself in PHP.